Welcome back to another episode of the Whiskey Tornado. It is day 8 of our advent calendar. Thank you guys all for participating and tuning in every day. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Love you guys very much. We're going to jump right into today's bottle. Today, we are trying double oaked Peerless Bourbon. Now, number one, the packaging on this is fantastic. I love these Peerless bottles. And I'm just going to be perfectly honest with you guys. I have never had a Peerless bourbon before, but I did see the double oaked in the store and I hadn't seen that before. So I thought I would pick that up for you guys in this year's advent calendar. I tasted this with one of our Patreon members, Ben Bernthal, a couple months ago when we had our Patreon meetup. I had one small glass and I have not had it since. So let's get into the nose on this, guys. The color is, it is dark. This is some dark whiskey. I'm not sure the age on this. It's coming out of Peerless, so they do not source. They are doing their own distillate, so I'm sure it is young. So keep that in mind when tasting it. So here we go. Nose is pretty decent. It is a little youthful. There is a little bit of that grain there, a little bit of that like sawdust or fresh cut 2x4 or hay. You can describe it any way you want, but it all same note. It's that grainy corn that's coming through. It just hasn't had quite enough time in the barrel. This is coming off very chocolate forward to me. Crazy amount of chocolate. Also, a lot of floral notes on this. I really don't know much about Peerless bourbon as far as how it tastes or smells. Never had it. I just figured I know what I'm getting into with Peerless. It's a young craft distillery. Man, the nose on this is really nice. Smells a little youthful, chocolate, almost like this floral, almost like rose water or something. Obviously there's those caramel notes, but lots of chocolate. All right, let's go into the taste. Cheers, everybody. Man, lots of char on that. Wow. Lots of char. I got a craft note first, and then the very first thing I got, and it's sitting on my tongue and I'm still getting it. If you tasted like the actual charred part of a marshmallow, like you barely got any marshmallow and you got most of the char part, that's what I got. I got a lot of barrel char there. Man. But still, fascinatingly, it's kind of good. Second sip. Good sweetness. Kind of enjoying this. I'm kind of surprised. When I first tasted this when Ben was here, I was not as big of a fan, but I don't know if, letting it sit in this bottle and getting the additional air to it has helped it. It is still a little youthful, but again, I really try with these craft distilleries, and I think you'd consider Peerless a craft distillery. I'm not sure how much they produce, but I really try to evaluate their whiskeys differently from, let's say, a Heaven Hill or Buffalo Trace. Like, is it promising? Is it good for the age compared to what's out there at that age? And I know this is younger whiskey. You can tell it's a little grainy, but the chocolate notes, the charred notes I'm getting, there's a great vanilla in there. There's a little bit of floralness. It's really nice. That vanilla, vanilla toasted marshmallow like you would expect in a toasted barrel, and chocolate. Really good. Actually, this would be a good Christmas dessert whiskey. I have a feeling a lot of you, since you tasted this blind and you didn't know what you were tasting, I'm having a feeling in the comments a lot of you are not going to be a big fan of this one, but I could be wrong. It'll be really interesting to see what you think. This may be too toasted for some of you. Especially when you're tasting it blind and you haven't prepared your mind for what you're going into. For me, it's good. It's probably just on the edge of bar worthy as far as, a good craft distillery doing a toasted. But is it a bottle I would buy again? Probably not. Actually, no, I wouldn't. This bottle was like $80. So, You got to keep in mind when you're buying from a craft distillery, they're going to be more expensive, but you're helping support them. You're helping them grow. And if you see that they have promise, you want to really help those distilleries spend a little bit of extra money there to help them get their feet on the ground and then produce great bourbon once they hit that 5, 6, 7, 8 year mark. So people are really supporting Peerless. Expensive. I don't know that I'd buy this again, but I'm glad I bought it. I'm glad I was able to share it for you guys. It's pretty good. It's just not great. It's not something I would reach for all the time, but very interesting to taste it with you guys. All right. Hope you enjoyed day 8 of the Advent Calendar. Cheers, everybody.